Hello there, Hoops fans! Let's dive into stories from NBA legends. Players like David Robinson, Gary Payton, Dominic Wilkins, and others who faced Larry Bird and left the court with their jaws on the floor. Bird wasn't just a phenomenal player, he was a master of mind games, a trash-talking genius, and an absolute killer on the court. By the end of this, you'll understand why even the best players were intimidated by him. Stay tuned and catch the full scoop right here on Sports Frenzy TV. First, let's set the stage. Larry Bird wasn't your typical basketball star. He didn't have the flashiest moves or the most athletic build. But what he did have was an unparalleled basketball IQ, a competitive fire that never quit, and a knack for doing exactly what he said he was going to do. Picture this: Bird would walk onto the court, look his defender dead in the eye, and tell them, "I'm going to shoot a three from right here, and there's nothing you can do about it." Then he'd go and do it, over and over. It wasn't just about scoring, it was about making his opponents feel helpless. Let's start with David Robinson. This guy was a beast, 7'1", quick, agile, and ridiculously skilled. He dominated from the moment he entered the league, winning Rookie of the Year and eventually snagging 2 championships. But even Robinson, with all his talent, couldn't help but admire Bird. Robinson once said playing against Larry Bird was like a masterclass in basketball. Bird wasn't the fastest guy on the court, but his precision and sheer determination made him nearly unstoppable. Robinson admitted that Bird was the first player who made him think, "Man, I want to compete at that level every day." It was Bird's heart, his ability to read a game, and his relentless effort that left such a lasting impression. Next up, Gary Payton. Now, if you know anything about the glove, you know this guy was the king of trash talk. He built his career on locking players down and getting in their heads. But even Payton had to bow down to Larry Bird when it came to mental warfare. Payton once said Larry Bird would tell you exactly what he was going to do. Then he'd go out and do it. And there was nothing you could do to stop him. He also admitted Bird was colder and more vicious than anyone he'd ever faced, even Michael Jordan. One story sticks out. Bird told Payton during a game that he was going to hit a shot in his face. Bird didn't just make the shot. He made sure to stare Payton down afterward, as if to say, "I told you so." Payton couldn't help but laugh, but deep down, he knew Bird was on a different level. Then there's Dominic Wilkins, aka the human highlight film. This guy was known for his insane dunks and scoring ability. But when he faced Larry Bird, he found himself on the receiving end of some brutal trash talk. Wilkins remembers his rookie season when Bird walked up to him during their first game and said, "You don't belong here." Imagine being a rookie and hearing that from one of the game's greats. But Bird didn't stop there. He backed it up by torching Wilkins and the Hawks that night. One of their most intense matchups came during the 1986 playoffs. Wilkins recalls how Bird spent the entire series in his ear, questioning his skills and challenging him to prove himself. Despite the constant taunting, Wilkins admitted he had to respect Bird because everything he said, he did. Patrick Ewing's story with Bird is a little different. Ewing, the heart of the New York Knicks, went head-to-head with Bird numerous times. At first, it was all business, intense battles on the court with plenty of trash talk flying. But over time, something changed. Ewing and Bird started to respect each other's dedication to the game. They'd grab lunch or dinner, talk basketball, and eventually developed a solid friendship. Ewing admitted that Bird's trash talking never stopped, even off the court, but it was all in good fun by then. Despite the rivalry, Ewing always described Bird as one of the smartest and toughest players he'd ever faced. Of course, we can't talk about Larry Bird without mentioning Magic Johnson. Their rivalry started in college with the famous 1979 NCAA championship game and carried into the NBA. These two were the faces of basketball in the 80s. But even Magic, with all his talent and charisma, had to deal with Bird's relentless trash talk. One time during a game, Bird told Magic, "I'm going to hit the three right in your face. Just watch." Sure enough, Bird nailed the shot and gave Magic that classic smug look. Magic admitted that Bird's ability to mess with your head was just as dangerous as his jump shot. Despite their on-court battles, the mutual respect between the two remains legendary. Let's not forget Charles Barkley. Barkley, known for his strength and outspoken personality, had his share of battles with Bird. One time, Bird called Barkley over during a game and said, "Y'all are disrespecting me." Barkley, confused, asked why. Bird replied, "You've got a white guy guarding me. That's disrespectful." Barkley couldn't believe the audacity but later admitted it was hilarious and true. Bird wasn't just talking trash talk for the sake of it. He genuinely believed no one could guard him, and most of the time, he was right. John Stockton, one of the greatest point guards of all time, got a first-hand taste of Bird's confidence during his rookie year. Before a game, Bird casually told Stockton and his teammates, "I feel like scoring 43 tonight." Stockton thought it was just talk, until Bird went out and did exactly that. Stockton said it was one of the most impressive performances he'd ever witnessed. It wasn't just Bird scoring, it was the way he controlled the game and made everything look effortless. Finally, there's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the NBA's all-time leading scorer. Kareem faced Bird many times and described him as one of the smartest and most complete players he'd ever played against. Kareem once said, "People don't give Larry enough credit. They think he's just a chubby white guy, but he had everything: shooting, passing, rebounding, defense. And his mind? That was his greatest weapon." Coming from Kareem, that's high praise. So what made Larry Bird so scary? It wasn't just his ability to score or his trash talk. It was his complete mastery of the game. Bird had a way of getting inside his opponents' heads, predicting their moves, and dominating them in every way possible. Whether it was Robinson, Payton, Wilkins, or even Kareem, every NBA legend who faced Bird walked away with a story and a whole lot of respect. That's what makes him a true legend. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and check out more content about the greatest players in NBA history. Who do you think was the most intimidating player? Let us know in the comments.